Hey guys, it's Brandon here. Now we're on site today right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Dunes Village Resort, right back behind me. Now I'm going to take you into a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, $624,000 unit that can make as much as $18,000 a year in profit. But before you flip off the video, you need to watch this video till the end because it could be the difference in you making a savvy investment decision or your first investment being a flop. And I do not want that for you. Now, real quick before we get into the video, I'm going to topple the 5 misconceptions that first-time investors make. Because guys, honestly, if you don't get the first investment right, it can stifle you, it can mess you up for the second investment, it can put a bad taste in your mouth, and then your investing career can come to a quick end with you thinking that it's just not for you, it's not a good business, they don't make money. I mean, the first investment has to be the right investment. It is super crucial to have the right person in your corner, the right broker, making sure you're making a savvy investment decision. Now, I want to cover that with you. I want to cover those top 5 misconceptions because I hear people say it all the time. I'm going to start small because it's less risk. I've got to learn the business first, and then I'll buy a big-time condo that's going to make money. It all boils down to fear, guys. It's illogical. It doesn't make any sense. We're going to work through the misconceptions together and debunk them so that you benefit. Let's get into it now. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. Let's get in unit 957 right here at the Dunes Village Resort. Now, as soon as we walk in, guys, you're going to notice tile flooring, a bedroom immediately to our right, gorgeous LVP flooring inside this unit, large, check out that, nice king-size bed, plenty of space there, nice window view, as you can see, Ocean Boulevard, flat screen TV, closet in the corner there. We do have dual vanities, as you can see, a jet tub, nice garden tub with tile, not bad, tub shower combo. Now, come into the main area here. You will notice a stackable washer and dryer unit. This is the utility side of the closet, as you can see with your HVAC. Now you walk right in. As soon as you come in, you do notice the dining room table, the eating area. There is a nice bar and kitchen here, another bedroom to the right, and a restroom. And then on our left, we do have the living room. Now, I'm going to take you this way first because I want you to see this view. Come on. This is one of 2 gorgeous balconies for this unit. Look at that view all the way down the coast. Ocean Boulevard, best of both worlds. Now, they are building a single-family home right here, as you can see. But that is a nice-sized balcony. That's our first balcony of 2. I also want to point out another unique feature in this is those floor-to-ceiling windows. You don't often have those, and I do feel like it gives you a competitive advantage when it comes to the property competing against other units. Now, to our right here, we do have another restroom, as you can see, tub shower combo. You do have your kitchen here, gorgeous countertop. There is a little bar here, as you can see. You have some stools, refrigerator, microwave, stove, and of course your dishwasher here. Now, back behind the kitchen, we do have another bedroom, double beds. Double bed, sleep more heads. The more heads, the more income. We have a nice view of Ocean Boulevard. You do have an owner's closet here, an actual closet, flat screen TV, and something else that's just really cool, guys. I enjoy it. These floor-to-ceiling windows in the corner. It's just kind of cool. Now let's get into the master. All right, your own private balcony. Can't wait to get to that. Huge king-size bed. You do have your own restroom here. We're going to get into it in just a minute. But first, I want to take you outside. Again, another gorgeous view all the way down that coast. And, of course, Ocean Boulevard. Look at that, guys. Absolutely stunning. Shut this door. You can see nice big flat screen TV. You do have another closet in the corner there. And then your own ensuite restroom. Tub shower combo. Well, that wraps it up for us, guys, right here at the Dunes Village Resort. In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, guys, one of the first misconceptions I hear is, I want to start small because it's less risk. Reality check. Smaller condos often have lower revenue ceiling but similar expenses. If your goal is to build wealth, starting with a property that has a higher income potential gives you better chances of success. Additionally, an excellent example is a well-known resort with a strong reputation is going to attract more guests and commands higher nightly rates. Even if a larger unit costs more, well, the higher revenue and the higher occupancy rates generally justify the investment. Guys, let's debunk the first myth. I want to start small because it's less risk. Technically, guys, in our market, there are more smaller condos, a supply of smaller condos than larger condos. So if you start small, you're taking on more risk because you have a whole lot more competition to compete against on Airbnb and VRBO and all of these property management companies, on-site rental management companies, you name it. Now, think through that with me. Hypothetically, let's just throw out some numbers. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but let's say that you've got 5,000 one-bedroom oceanfront condos in our market, but you only have 2,000 three-bedroom oceanfront condos in our market. It's going to be a whole lot easier to differentiate and stand out with that 3-bedroom oceanfront condo market, in that market, you taking market share, there's just a whole lot less competition. So by buying smaller, you're actually giving yourself the worst odds of success because you're increasing the amount of competition that you're going against. It's that simple and that easy. Now, I know logically in your mind you think, well, it's smaller, so it's less risk. It's a smaller price point, so it's less risk. Guys, there's a whole lot more to this business than just the price point. You've got this is a business. You got competition, just like you would in any business, and you have to take all these factors in. Now, on to the second misconception. All right, number 2, I don't know enough about short-term rentals, so I need to learn first. Then I'm going to invest in a larger, nicer condo and really start building some wealth. That's the thought process here. Now, you've got to reframe your thinking. The business of vacation rentals doesn't change based on the size of the unit that you have. Whether you have a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, or 4-bedroom, it's the same business with the same physics, the same mechanics, the same principles that are going to make you successful. The key factors like location, resort reputation, and guest demand are the same whether you're managing a 1-bedroom or a 4-bedroom. And guys, very simply put, I'm going to drill down into this for you. Demand is determined by historical gross rental income. Now, is that the ceiling? No. But demand for a location is not based on the attractions around it. It's not based on, is it near to the airport? All these factors are certainly important factors, and there is a way to understand them. However, the most important factor is the raw data of gross rental income that unit has performed by in the past. And similarly, the potential of other high-performing units at that same exact resort. I'm pretty sure if you have 2 similar units and you see one's making $86,000 and another one's making $105,000, and they're the same units except for one's a little bit more updated than the other one, it's pretty clear that you can have a top-performing unit as well at that same resort, basing your ceiling on how well the best performers do. Now, why is bigger better? Well, a larger unit in a high-demand resort comes with built-in credibility. The resort's reputation helps you get bookings, reducing your learning curve and giving you a better shot at success from day one. So think about this. You go and buy a 1-bedroom oceanfront condo at a rinky-dink oceanfront condo place that doesn't have a great brand name and a known reputation in our market. Or you buy a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom at a place like the Dunes Village with a known reputation. Which one is going to be more risky? The 1-bedroom that's not known is going to be a whole lot harder to get people to rent that unit than it is going to be to get people to rent Dunes Village right back behind me. There's no way around that. I mean, it's going to be more difficult. So in your first 2 years, when you're first starting out and you're learning the business, you want to position yourself at a resort that's going to give you the best chances of success, where the brand name, where the reputation of the resort can help carry you in your first 1 or 2 years. We're not even going to get into the fact that appreciation on the unit is another hedge against how well you do annually on your annual profits that can really help save your investment. That's a topic for another video. Now, let's get into misconception 3. All right, a smaller condo means less competition. Not necessarily. If you buy at a lower tier resort, you're competing with other budget-friendly options, many of which offer similar or better pricing than your unit. Now, the advantage of larger units is that there's fewer larger condos available on the market in supply, meaning you face less competition within that category, especially for families and groups who are willing to pay more for space and amenities. That simple, that easy, guys. Misconception number 4, I'll buy a small one first and scale later. I really enjoy this one. I hear this all the time. Why that strategy can backfire. Now, if the first unit underperforms, it can shake your confidence and slow you down, for sure. And you as an investor are only as good as your confidence. You're only as good as you're managing yourself. Let's be honest, guys. You may struggle to get financing for a second unit if the first one isn't generating strong returns. You can really stifle yourself and set yourself back if you don't get this first investment condo decision correct. You can mess yourself up and find yourself 5 years up the road with the same oceanfront condo when you could have owned 2 or 3 more. Now, a single high-performing property can outperform multiple low-performing ones. Bigger isn't just bigger. It's better leverage. Now, guys, I want to unpack that statement. It's better leverage. It's way better leverage, guys. If you're only paying 25% down and you're looking at buying a 1-bedroom condo or a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom condo, you're getting a whole lot more condo for your money with that 3 or 4-bedroom unit, because you're still paying that marginal 25% down either way. So let's position you in a place where your money is going to be able to get the biggest bang for the buck. Additionally, those larger condos appreciate better generally than smaller condos. So you're going to have another hedge to protect you against underperforming units, against your first year or two in the business learning the ropes of it. You're going to have a hedge to protect you against that learning curve. So if you go with the larger condo, you should get some great appreciation out of that unit, and you're giving yourself less risk than if you were to buy a smaller condo that does not appreciate as well. It's that simple and that easy, guys. So I'm going to recap that. When you buy the larger condo, you generally make more appreciation. If it takes you 2 or 3 years to figure out how to run the business really well and take market share and beat the competition, well, you've got a built-in hedge with that larger condo, because those are going to appreciate better than smaller condos for the most part in our market. So that extra appreciation could be I've seen some to the tune of $32,000 a year, bringing in appreciation each year. Is going to carry you over the life of that investment for the 5 to 7 years that you own it, in those underperforming years when your annual profits aren't as low. So there's going to be a whole lot less risk in a larger condo when compared to a smaller condo. Misconception number 5, it's a bigger investment and I don't want to overcommit. Ha 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 ha. Now, fact check. You're not overcommitting more, you're committing smarter. A 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom in a top-tier resort can be easier to book and generate higher revenue than a 1-bedroom in a lower-tier resort. There's no way around it, guys. It's absolutely factual. Many first-time investors end up losing money by trying to play it safe with the cheapest option instead of choosing a property designed for higher returns. You want to go smarter, not smaller. It just makes sense, guys. Now, if you want to build wealth through oceanfront condo investing, through short-term vacation rental properties, the goal isn't just to own a condo. It is to own one that works for you. Instead of picking the easiest option, choose the one that actually puts you on the path to success. The biggest risk isn't going bigger. It's starting too small and getting stuck. I do not want that for you. If you're serious about making the right move, then let's talk. I don't want you to make a poor investment on your first go because you think that you're being conservative, or you're mitigating risk, or you're outsmarting the market. I don't want you to fall prey and victim to making a poor first-time investment decision, and then your entire investing career is stifled because you shot yourself in your foot the first go-around. I get calls and emails, guys, every day from investors just like you looking to invest in our market. All the time, guys. It happens to me all the time. I'd like to help you on your journey. Whether you're 6 months out, 1 year out, 2 years out, no matter where you are in the process, a conversation or two can really help move you beyond a lot of the hurdles that stifle and stop first-time investors from making savvy investment decisions. So please, pick up the phone and give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I'm Brandon Cunesack, CCIM candidate. That means Certified Commercial Investment Member. I can run all the analysis that you need to run to make sure that you're making a smart move in our market. So don't be a stranger. You got a friend right here in Myrtle Beach. 843-360-1737. Now I'm just cruising through Dunes Village Resort, having a little bit of fun. It's April, and there's kids playing in the indoor water park. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you want. You might be able to catch a few as I'm walking through here. Now, guys, Don't forget that April through September is the peak season in our market. That's when you'll get the majority of tourists coming to rent these units. Now, the bulk of the peak of the peak is going to be June, July, and August. Those are those are the months that you're going to be making the most income. And as you can see, there are plenty of people. There are people out here having fun, having a blast, enjoying the sun in April. It's awesome. This place is great. Dunes Village is infamous for having some of the highest performing gross rental income units in our market. I see units out here with $76,000, $86,000, $103,000. They are bringing in plenty of cash in our market. All right, guys, we are on site right here at the Dunes Village Resort. Now, something really nifty, you can see here how it's open, but during the wintertime, they can literally close all this up, and you've got a water park in the wintertime, which is super cool. This is the lazy river, as you can see here. There are two separate towers, absolutely stunning. This place is gigantic. But the great thing about this resort in particular is during the winter time when they close these openings, you can use it even when it's cold. So, your business doesn't slow down during the winter, not as much as other resorts here. Now, this is the indoor water park, as you can see. Look at that slide, guys. You can imagine people love this. People are traveling up there. Look at all these slides. So again, during the wintertime, you can use this, and it shouldn't hurt your gross rental income too much, because people can come and stay at the water park because it's indoor. It's one of the indoor water parks in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. As you can see, lots and lots of fun for the kids. All right, guys, so check this out. This is our sun deck. As you can see, another pool, as you can see. And it is September, and there are plenty of people outside enjoying the sun. This is all your oceanfront condo demand right here. Another very cool little water park for the babies, and they are having a blast doing it, as you can well see. More on-site amenities, guys. Ping pong tables, pool tables, as you can see. Lazy rivers, again. Hot tubs. I mean, man, this place has it. There is so much to do here at the Dunes Village Resort. And this, again, is your start of the slide. Up here, you can see there's a gentleman. Let me see if I can get you zoomed in a little bit. See him up there working. He's wearing a purple shirt. Pretty cool. And then again, more kiddie areas. As you can see, lots and lots of fun. All right, guys, we have a Starbucks right over here, which is super cool, as you can see. An on-site Starbucks. And then you'll notice a restaurant right here. Super cool. Not bad for on-site service, huh? And then right through this door. All right, guys, you're outside in front of all the water activities. Check this out. At this building, which is phenomenal. And it looks like there might be a little tiki bar right over here in the corner. Oh, they've also got which is super cool, they've also got a playground for the kids. Now, Dunes Village Resort has no restrictions for guests that rent units through people that manage or self-manage that unit themselves or have an off-site property manager. So there are zero restrictions. Your guests can use the water park, the pools, all the on-site amenities, the tennis court across the street and the basketball court. Your guests can use everything if you self-manage a property here. There are zero restrictions. Now, people are often concerned about, should I have an on-site property manager or an off-site property manager? So should I self-manage myself? You should always self-manage yourself. There are many investors out there that have full-time jobs. I come across a lot of husband and wife couples that have full-time jobs and they're owning they're owning oceanfront condos and properties and they're managing those rentals themselves. That's what you need to do. You can do it all from your phone and from your laptop. It is very simple and very easy. Automated emails, automated text messages. You're literally running the business from your phone. And Matt Freeze is a prime example. He's a mortgage broker, owns his own mortgage firm, he was managing 11 oceanfront condos. He sold a few of them. Now he has 9 oceanfront condos. The point is he's doing all that, and it's not putting him out of business. So the point is, guys, that yes, it's very, very doable. Technology has made it simple and easy. You sync your calendar with your cleaning lady's calendar. She comes and cleans your unit. There are so many hacks that you can do. There's pricing software like Price Labs. Listen, if you have questions about all those things, I pretty much coach all of my clients on all of this stuff, walking them through all of these steps. Please, if you're 1 month out, if you're 3 months out, if you're 6 months out, if you're a year out, if you're 2 years out, whatever your circumstance is, get a hold of me. Investors just like you contact me all the time for help investing. Last year I did 30 deals, the majority of which were investors. And I want those stories to be your stories. So give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. Send me a text message. Let's get your questions answered. Let's get you over a lot of the hurdles so that way you can make a savvy investment decision. And you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time trying to figure things out on your own, doing research by yourself. This is what I do. This is what I specialize in. I am deep on this subject, so I can help you out and speed up that process for you, saving you both time and money and the heartache of making a poor investment decision in our market. Man, especially if you're a first-time investor, that's about the last thing that you want to do, because it's going to put a bad taste in your mouth. It's going to slow you down financially. Maybe you can't get a loan on the second property now because your first one doesn't rent well. You're going to think the business doesn't work and doesn't make money. You got to get the first investment right. So please get a hold of me. 843-360-1737. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, now what does the HOA fee include right here at Dunes Village? Guys, it's going to include electric in the common area, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, security, rec facilities, legal and accounting, primary antenna, cable TV, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, which is a big one, telephone service in the unit, and also internet access. Now, many people ask, is there insurance included in the HOA fee? Yes, the exterior building insurance is included, and I'm fairly confident your HO6 insurance is included. Your HO6 insurance covers the interior stud to stud. You also want to make sure that the HO6 policy, if it's purchased by your HOA fee, you need to make sure it covers lost rental income. What if they close a floor down because they're replacing slider doors on that floor for all those units, and you can't rent that unit out for 2 months, 3 months? Well, guys, you're going to want to have that lost rental income coverage through your HO6 policy. So make sure whatever happens, even if it's included in your HOA fee, get with your HOA and see if they have that coverage. If not, get a separate policy. Now, the exterior part of the building is covered in your HOA fee through that insurance. Basically, if there's an issue with the exterior part of the building, you're simply going to get in contact with the HOA, file it, and have it repaired. It's that simple and that easy. People are worried about hurricanes. They're all freaked out. Well, you have insurance that covers the inside stud to stud through your HO6 policy, and insurance through the HOA fee that covers the exterior part of the building. Now, people are often concerned about having an HOA. Guys, an HOA protects your property's values. It is that simple and that easy. They are holding everybody at the resort accountable. They are owners that own there at that particular resort, and they're going to make value-added decisions that improve the value of the property over time so that your investment improves, the value of your property improves, and that guests and tourists continue to return to that to that resort because of the decisions that HOA has made. So HOAs make value-added decisions, they protect the property's value, and you will be very, very thankful that you have an HOA holding everybody accountable when it comes time to sell that property and it's appreciated $200,000 or $300,000. Trust me, that little bit of accountability is going to go a long way. Now, some investors will, get very concerned about the HOA fees, and they will allow how much an HOA fee is to drive whether or not they invest at a particular resort. That is a foolish way to invest. We invest in an investment because of the upside that it can give us. We do not invest based on fear and being concerned that we won't be able to cover the HOA fees. Generally, the more successful resorts have larger HOA fees, but they also have a nice brand name established that can help carry you when you're getting started in this business. A lot of that work is already done for you by the brand of that particular resort. Now, obviously, HOA fees that are cheaper, most of the time, those places aren't as well ran. They don't have a strong brand name. They don't have a strong presence. That's the things that you want when you're a first-time investor doing this. So don't be afraid of the HOA fee. If you're doing this correctly, and watch the interview with Matt Freeze. If you're doing this correctly, guys, essentially, you should make enough money on your oceanfront condo June, July, and August to cover all of your operating expenses. So who cares what the HOA fee is? If you're doing this well, you are generating a profit. Matt Freeze says he makes enough money on his on his oceanfront condos to pay all of the operating expenses for the year, June, July, and August. So the HOA fee is there. It's just a cost. It should not be determining where you invest. The upside potential and the top performing units at that resort give you an idea of what you can do in the business and how much money you can make. They reveal, in part at least, your upside, which should be what you're maintaining and fighting. That's what you're fighting for. You're aiming at bringing in that top gross rental income on that property. That's why you're investing in an oceanfront condo and not a long-term rental or even a short-term rental a block off the beach. They just don't have the upside. When there's a great year in short-term rentals, you can make a considerable upside, a lot of money. You can't do that with long-term rentals. Additionally, oceanfront condos, you can rent them out 12 months out of the year. You can't necessarily do that with other short-term vacation rental properties, even a block off the beach. So the whole point of investing in oceanfront condos is the upside. It gives you some of the upside of the stock market without all of that risk. Oceanfront condos are definitely in a league of their own. All right, so what attractions are located near this resort? Well, Broadway at the Beach is a 350-acre tourist attraction located just 7 minutes up the road. There are restaurants and shopping and obstacle courses and Wonderworks and Dave & Buster's and you name it. They've got something for everyone right there at Broadway at the Beach. You don't want to miss it. Now, Pirates Voyage is 8 minutes up the road. That's a dinner show. Medieval Times, 16 minutes up the road. Again, a dinner show. Tanger Outlets for all you people that like to shop. You got your outlet stores, 14 minutes up the road. Barefoot Landing, another excellent tourist attraction on the water. They have a marina with a restaurant on the water. You can literally drive your boat up, get out and eat. Restaurants, shopping, plenty of places to play, things to do, all kinds of outdoor and outside activities for families and friends. Tons and tons of fun. You don't want to miss it. Now, Market Common, we're talking 17 minutes up the road. Perhaps one of the most desirable places in our market is the Market Common. It is phenomenal. Shopping, upscale shopping, boutique shopping, restaurants, bookstores, movie theaters, you name it. It is a city within a city. Now, Myrtle Beach Airport, 18 minutes up the road. And for all of you people that enjoy golf, let me tell you, there's over 90 golf courses in the Myrtle Beach area. Now, just right up the road, we got Myrtlewood Golf Club at 7 minutes, Dunes Golf and Beach Club at 9 minutes, and of course, the World Tour Golf Links at 16 minutes. So as is plain to see, guys, there is plenty to do for all of your guests right down from the Dunes Village Resort. And don't forget, the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk and Promenade is only 8 minutes up the road. Think about the listings there that you've got on Airbnb and VRBO and being able to list all these wonderful and great tourist attractions to attract many of the guests, the 20 to 22 million that will be renting your oceanfront condo very, very soon. Now let's work through your appreciation on this property, guys. If you would have purchased the average 3-bedroom condo here at Dunes Village back in 2017, you would have paid $440,000 for it. Fast forward to 2023, that same condo is $545,000. The appreciation is $105,000. That's roughly $17,500 per year in appreciation. Now, a quick note. The larger oceanfront condos do tend to appreciate a lot better. In this particular instance, this unit, based on the averages, did not appreciate as well. But generally, for the most part, larger oceanfront condos, a lot of them are seeing well over 100% appreciation. You know, I just ran numbers the other day over at Oceans One. I think it was $257,100 in appreciation over a 10-year period. Guys, the point is, when you're considering buying a smaller oceanfront condo versus a larger oceanfront condo, you want to go with the larger oceanfront condo because it appreciates so much better. And if you don't do a phenomenal job running that business, or your learning curve is, takes you a few years, the appreciation of the investment is going to carry you, and you won't have to rely so much on the annual profits. All right, guys, let's talk through AirDNA's report on this property right here at Dunes Village. I really just want to draw your attention to the occupancy on the unit. It's listed at 98% for the year. The whole point of why I wanted to bring that to your attention is, now, These units rent at Dunes Village. They are infamous in our market for being some of the best performing units in our market. I mean, dare I say, they are one of the top, if not the top investment condos to purchase in the Myrtle Beach market. Now, they rent. This unit I'm talking to you about made $76,000. I recently had another client put a property under contract that made $86,000. I found one in the MLS in 2022 that made $103,000. These units rent, guys. There's no way around it. Absolutely. They are phenomenal units and great investments in our market. Now, here's the secret that you want to know about concierge services when it comes to oceanfront condo short-term vacation rental properties. I once had a client who had a property over at the Sea Mist. She made $33,000 in gross rental income on an ocean view unit. Now, guys, if you've ever seen the Sea Mist, you know it is not the nicest oceanfront condo resort in our market. In fact, it is the cheapest, one of the cheapest oceanfront condo resorts you can find. It is ran down. It's probably one of the cheapest in the entire U.S., if I'm honest with you. You can pick up an oceanfront condo for anywhere between $80,000 to $96,000. Now, anyways, the point is that it's not the best place ever, and sure enough, she still made $33,000 in gross rental income from an ocean view, not even an oceanfront unit. Now, it was a little bit nicer of a unit. It was a larger unit. Had a nice jacuzzi jet tub in it. Anyways, the point is this. She offered vacation packages. $500 package, $1,000 package, $1,500 package. I'm not saying that those are her exact numbers. The point is for the idea, the concept. So she had a smaller, a medium, and a large size package. She offered bathrobes for him and her, rose petals on the bed, towel folded swans, a gift for him, a gift for her. I mean, there's all kinds of directions that you can go in with this, you know. I had the idea, you know, of course, gift cards for two to certain restaurants, Myrtle Beach Country Music Festival tickets, different festivals and things that are taking place here. You can definitely buy those tickets and include them. You simply coordinate with your cleaning lady, have her pick up the stuff, pay her an extra fee, and for the convenience, the vacationers will pay it. They don't have to do anything. Their vacation's pretty much planned. They got all kinds of restaurants and places to go to, events to check out and see. Everything's taken care of. A nice little envelope right there on the nightstand for them that the cleaning ladies left. They've paid a fee on your direct booking website for the package, and it's done. Voila. And I'm telling you, it drives up your gross rental income. And guys, people spend money on vacations. This is all about disposable income. The more disposable income people have, the more they vacation, the more they spend. So the point is that when they're on vacation, they tend to let loose and they'll spend a little bit liberally. And if you'll help make that property, if you'll help make that experience at your property convenient, then sure enough, they'll pay you a nice fee for that. Concierge services, give it a shot. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, buying the property as a second home or an investment. You can buy it as a second home, but you can only rent it out 180 days out of the year. You do have to occupy it 21 days out of the year. You know, there's some rules. It's got to be more than 75 miles from your primary residence. Additionally, if you can buy it as a second home, it is going to have a lower interest rate. It is going to have a lower down payment. Now, if you buy it as an investment property, it's going to have a higher down payment. We have programs between 15 and 25% down, and it's going to be a higher interest rate because it's an investment property. Your partner, the bank, is going to want to make some money on the money that you're making. Obviously, just makes great sense. They're your partner in the deal. They're bringing the majority of the money to the deal. They want to see that you got some skin in the game. They're going to charge you a higher interest rate for sure. Now, if you plan on renting it out for the purpose of making money and you don't plan on using it very much, then an investment property is the way to go and how to purchase it. You can rent it out 365 days a year that way. That's what you need to do if you plan on making money. Now, investment properties, when a property in Myrtle Beach is bought as an investment property, there will be a personal property tax on the furnishings, so just be aware of that. This is in addition to your property taxes. Now, should you remodel your unit? Absolutely. Except if you can purchase an oceanfront condo that has already been remodeled. If you can do that and you're using financing, then the cost of that remodel is technically marginal because all you're paying is a down payment on that property using financing. So if you're having to choose between a unit that is dated, that you have to put $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 into remodel, or a unit that has previously been remodeled and you are financing, it is always smarter to go with the already remodeled unit because it's a marginal cost increase. It might be another, if there's a $150,000 unit that's dated and there's a $200,000 unit that has been remodeled and you're paying 25% down either way, we're talking, $6,000 to $10,000 difference just to get that extra, that unit that's already been remodeled using your financing, as opposed to you buying the dated unit that's $150,000 and having to dump out of pocket another $30,000, $35,000 into it. So if you ever get the chance to purchase an already remodeled unit, you need to go for it if you're using financing. If not, you definitely need to remodel your unit. You have to have state-of-the-art, updated, modern, fancy, contrast, design work, simple touches. You got to tell a story with that listing. The photos have to pop. The paint has to pop. The colors have to pop. People have to be scrolling on Airbnb and VRBO and see your unit and love it and fall in love with it. So yes, an extra $30,000 to $60,000 that first year that you own it to get it just right can cause it to become a top performing unit, to take market share, to increase your occupancy to the point where you can start charging a premium for it. And that's what you want, guys. That's what I want for you over the course of that 5 to 7 years that you own the property, riding that wave of appreciation up. Now, it's always smarter to remodel a unit. Trust me, Yvonne, a client of mine last year, remodeled a unit. It was making $104,000. It made $140,000 and it was closed 2 months out of the year for remodel. So is it smart to remodel? If you ask Yvonne, she'll say yeah, to the tune of $36,000. Now, she could have made, I believe that she could have made another $16,000. That would have brought her to $46,000 profit in that unit. First year out the gate, first year ever doing this. Yes, you should definitely remodel your unit. And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, we're on site today right here at the Dunes Village Resort. Let's go over those numbers for Unit 957. Now, we've got our sold price at $624,797. We have our down payment of 25% at $156,000, $199.25. We have our gross rental income from Unit 1120 at a whopping total of $103,398. Yes, I found a unit right here at the Dunes Village Resort that made $103,000. That's so awesome. Now, this particular unit, if you'll notice that note down at the bottom, it did bring in $76,839.26 in 2024. Now, going right back up to the top, your Airbnb platform fee was $3,101.94. That's 3% of the gross rental income that you made for the unit. If you subtract out the Airbnb platform fee from the gross rental income of $103,398, you are left with a subtotal of $100,296.06. Now, your principal and interest, the annual principal and interest payment on this property is $42,240. That does assume a 30-year fixed mortgage at 8.25% interest. Your taxes for the property taxes in 2023 were $5,868.33. Your cleaning services, we got you at $6,000 for the year. That's based on 30 cleanings at $200 per cleaning. Now, in your first year, it could be less, it could be more. Most likely, your first 2 years, your cleaning costs are going to be slightly higher because you are going to allow for shorter stays, so you can collect as many online reviews as possible. Now, after your first 2 years, you'll probably put in a minimum 1 week stay, so your cleaning costs will go down. Your excise tax, $751. That does count for a $145 base fee for your first $2,000 in gross rental income, and then $6 for every $1,000 you make in gross rental income after that. That excise tax is $751 total. It does cover your police and your fire department use if you need those services. It also helps you, basically it's charged by the city of Myrtle Beach for your business license. Ultimately, guys, you do have to have a business license to own and operate a short-term vacation rental property. Now, your local hospitality and accommodations tax, that was a whopping $3,101.94. That is 3% of your total gross rental income, 1.5% of which goes to Horry County, 1.5% goes to the city of Myrtle Beach. And then finally, your annualized HOA dues were a whopping $23,520. Now, the subtotal of all of those operating expenses is $81,481.27. If you subtract that subtotal from your subtotal up top of $100,296.06, you are left with a projected profitability of $18,814.79. Now, you will notice at the bottom, I do have a little note in purple there. It says working capital commitment. Essentially, for working capital on this property, for owning and operating it, you want to keep in reserve around $40,740.64. That's roughly half of all of your operating expenses for the year. Now let's work through your depreciation for this unit right here at Dunes Village. Guys, with that $624,797 purchase price over 27.5 years, we're talking about a taxable income deduction of $22,719.89. Now guys, all you high income earners, you definitely want to check into cost segregation studies. Very, very important. You could be writing off as much as $40,000 in your first year owning this property. Now, basically, a cost segregation study accelerates depreciation that you would take over the life of the investment. It is a very, very, in my opinion, a smart, advanced tax strategy for a high income earner. You definitely want to get with your CPA about that. You have to have a CPA that specializes in cost segregation studies. If you need that kind of information, give me a buzz. It's 843-360-1737. Now, the top places, in my opinion, to purchase an oceanfront condo in our market are going to be Ocean Reef Resort. Hands down, Yvonne, has a unit there that made over $140,000 her first 12 months. Oceans One. I just found a unit last night that made $109,000 in there. 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom unit. Another great place is going to be the Caribbean, although I know it's a little bit debatable. I found a 1-bedroom that made $72,000 in there. The 3-bedrooms don't generally show as much gross rental income, but do I believe they could make substantial money? We're talking over $100,000 a year. Absolutely. Caribbean's a great one. Probably second best, I would say, is probably going to be Dunes Village, if not first best. Dunes Village Resort. The units in there, I found one made $103,000. $103, I think $498 or something like that. Dunes Village is an excellent place. They've got an indoor water park. It's the only place, to my knowledge, in our market that has an indoor water park. Your units can be rented out 12 months out of the year. So let's just recap that. That's Ocean Reef. That's Oceans One. That's Dunes Village. That's Caribbean. Let me just try to think. Another great place is going to be Sand Dunes. Matt Freeze averages about $22,500 in profit on his 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom ocean view units over there. If you got questions about specifics or want me to run numbers on it, please let me know. Get in contact with me. Send me a text message or shoot me an email. 843-360-1737. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.